What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. We finally won us a build from Copart after losing so many. So hopefully we lucked up and we hit the gold mine, and hopefully this is not just a total damage like with engine damage and all that. And we need to get this vehicle fixed up quickly because I get my license next month and my dad's been taking my truck to work every day. So let's show the car and show you what's all about. Alright, so here it is, a 2019 Kia Forte. Copart says the lost type is undercarriage damage, but we could not find no sign of that. So that's a good sign, but the only visible damage with the car is this cracked windshield, there's a check engine light, and these two front tires are going to need to be changed because they're very dull. But other than that, there's no scratches, dings, dents, nothing on the sides of the car, or no bodywork damage. It's just very dirty. It's going to need a good detailing. And it looks like this person liked the beach because there's Ron John, Pensacola Beach, there's Salt Life stickers on the car. And this Kia Forte, I think it's towards the top of the line, S model. I'm not too sure though. But on this side, there's also no scratches, dents. The tires are good on this side. Until the interior, it's very dirty. It's also going to need a very good detailing. There's sunflower seeds. I don't know who would do that. And there's also glitter down there. And there's all these bunch of keys. My dad will tell you why in a little bit. But the title also says there's water damage. So hopefully it's just because of these seats have some stains on it, especially the back. So hopefully it's no worse, like with this carpet getting pulled up. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. But definitely gonna need a good detailing. But I think if this car is good, I think it'll be a great car for my dad to bring to work every day.
All right, so one thing about buying cars from Copart that has no visible damage is now you got to try to put the pieces together and figure out why it was salvaged. And it takes about 70% of the car's value in Louisiana to salvage a car. This one, as Tyler said, had undercarriage damage. So we couldn't find any undercarriage damage. We looked all under it. So I don't know why it has that. The car was about 1.5 to 2 quarts low on oil, so I thought, well, maybe the oil pan has a little hole in it. So I filled that up, I inspected it. Can't find anything wrong there. What else? We have a check engine light, which is the P0017, which could be triggered from low oil, dirty oil, or it's the sensor on top of the camshaft letting it know where the cam and crank is. And if you remember on our Toyota Camry, we had the same code and it was a flood damage car. So maybe water got into the engine and bent a valve. So I don't know about that. We're gonna figure that out. We also have a bunch of keys. This is the actual keys for the car. These don't fit into the ignition. Like they made 2 different keys here. These fit, but these open the door. We don't have any door lock, so you have to have this to lock and unlock a door. So that's another little piece of the puzzle. So I called Progressive. This was sold by Progressive. We got a claim number right here. So I called them and asked them if it was actually a flood damaged car or if that was just a typo, but they wouldn't give me any information, said it was all confidential. So then we get the title and it says water damage. So I don't know if water damage means just water got in and damaged the inside, or it seemed like it would say flood damage if it was flooded. So that's another issue. We got the Carfax. After we got the Carfax said it hit a mailbox a year ago and had some undercarriage damage. So maybe that's why they put an undercarriage. And then it said theft. So theft, that would explain why we have so many keys. Kias are stolen, probably the easiest stolen car out there. So I'm thinking they ripped the ignition apart during the theft. So somebody put a new ignition and had to rekey it with this. That's why we have these 2 now that don't work. So we have the theft issue. So maybe when they stole it, they ran it through some water and got in. Who knows? So we got to try to go through each little piece of the puzzle and just figure it all out. So the car idles great, it drives good. I'm not 100% sure if it's burning oil bad because of a bent exhaust valve or something, so who knows. So let's go detail it, take it for a spin, and see what we got.
All right, let's bring the car to the carport. We're gonna give it a nice detail, wash the engine, and we're gonna bring it back here, do a deep clean, take the seats out, and make this car 100% new. See, the car starts pretty good, it idles well. There's the check engine light. Bring it to the carport and get this car good as new. We got the exterior of the car all washed and detailed. It looks very good. We did notice one little dent though. I don't know if you can really see it, but we might get that fixed or maybe not even worry about it. It's really no big deal. But we're gonna start removing all of these stickers on the windshield, and later we're gonna remove this All-Star because I don't know why dealers put that on. If you spend all this money on a new car, they just put their advertisement. So we're gonna get that later. My dad's already started on these stickers. And then soon we're gonna get started on the interior of the car, and that's gonna be also looking good as new.
All right, we got all the stickers off the back glass. Now we're gonna start taking the seats out. Before you do that, we disconnected the negative battery cable because these seats have airbags in them. So you want to make sure you unplug that and let it discharge before you start unplugging the seats. All right, now you can just scoot the seat all the way back, get those 2 bolts in the front. There should be 2 or 3 wires connected under the seat. Lean it back, not too much, just enough to get to the wires. All right, all these plugs are so tricky. Best way is to pull these out so you get a little more room. each one of them work differently. This one only had 2. All right, so now we can take the whole seat out. The seat's kind of heavy for one person, so I'm gonna have to help. All right, set it down. All right. Yeah, we're gonna put it up here, that way we can scrub it down a little better. Need a cough drop. Yeah, these seats needed to come out to clean this thing. So we was taking a back seat out, we found all the glass to where they, I guess that's where they broke in his back window. But what I don't understand is why would they break the glass and then the ignition and it gets repaired, then it goes to auction. Normally all this stuff would stay broken when they send it to auction. So a lot of this just doesn't make sense yet. Usually to get these out, you just pop it up and pull it out, but this one had bolts. See the bolt holes? But look how bad it is under here. That's why you gotta take everything out.
What does that say?
That's a Bible verse, 2 Corinthians. We might have enough to buy some cold drink. All right, let's get to work. All right, before we start detailing too much, we're gonna change the cabin air filter. I got a feeling it's gonna be pretty bad, and I don't wanna see all that stuff drop down on our freshly detailed car. It's probably all kind of pine tree leaves and oak leaves.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
That's worse than I thought. What is that, rat poo? Get it out the car first. Jesus. That's why you want to change this kind of stuff. All right, throw that away. Don't let it spill. That's worse than I thought. I wonder if we got any rats living in here. All right, we got a new cabin air filter. Pilot's gonna put that in. One reason we want to do that, because after we detail it, we're gonna run the ozone machine. And when you run the ozone machine, you need to circulate the air conditions. So we'll have a clean filter, and that way we can sanitize everything. All right, Tyler's gonna get started vacuuming. I'm gonna do the seats. That way we can try to get this knocked out pretty quick. All right, we got the inside of the car about 80% clean how we want it. So now we're gonna put the AC on high, put the ozone machine in it, and just let that circulate for about 20 minutes before we put the seats and all that in. That way I had to disinfect all that, but I still gotta put the battery cable back on and get Tyler to drive the car out. I'm just gonna put this snug because I'm gonna have to take it back off. All right, you can drive the car back some. That way we don't put so much carbon monoxide in here. Keep going. That's good. All right, the ozone machine's been running about 45 minutes. That should be plenty good for now. Car's been out here idling. Sounds great. No misfires, nothing. But I do think it's consuming some oil. And like I said, we had that P0017 code. And I was reading that it could be this oil solenoid valve back here, or it could be the cam sensor right here, or the crank sensor on the bottom. Or another issue is the on the camshaft right here on the exhaust side, the sprocket slips a little bit, so it causes it to get off of time just a tad bit. So I'm kind of doing a little research on the car now, and I did read that this year model does consume oil, so maybe that's just part of this type of car. I think in the next video what we're going to do is we'll take the spark plugs out, we'll put the camera down in it. We have a VVOR camera. We'll do a compression test on each cylinder, and if everything checks out good, we'll change all the coil packs, change the spark plugs, change the oil, air filter, do a complete tune-up on the car. That is, if we deem it's not a trash engine. If it is, I think we'll probably just buy another engine, because we could swap this out in one day. If you have any tips or suggestions on what we can do and try to figure out what's wrong with this car, please leave it in the comments below. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, because the next video we're going to be doing a lot of troubleshooting, and hopefully we will see you next time.